Hi guys, Randy Chavez here. Please like and comment and subscribe. Oh yeah, I did it first. I almost never do that, or if I do it, I do it at the end of my videos. But comments and likes are good for the YouTube algorithm, or so I've been told. We're jumping right into it. We have a Dark Vileplume First Edition PSA 9. Sell for $41, which is interesting, because the other one sold for $56. Yeah, one sold for $41, and then like 2 hours later, another one sold for $56. Was there a difference in the nines? I don't know. I was too lazy to check. So there was a Ditto Hollow from the Fossil set, First Edition PSA 9, sold for $152. Very nice. I think that's a record for that Ditto, for the PSA 9 anyway. We had a Dark Gengar. This I thought was interesting because the First Edition PSA 10 from Neo Destiny. So Dark Gengar is number 6 in Neo Destiny, Hollow, sold for $900. And it has 80 PSA 10 copies. Now the Dark Feraligatr, the one that I got for like $620 the other day, has 61 copies, also from Neo Destiny, and he's a starter, and cool artwork. I think it's a little cooler than the Dark Gengar, so you're definitely going to see an increase in price on that Dark Feraligatr. I did give that guy, it was $745 that he had it on for Dark Feraligatr. That's what it was listed as, or best offer. Give an offer of like $550, just throwing it out there, thinking he would counter with like 7 or 6 point, whatever. He didn't respond. I think he's just letting it run out, and then maybe he's hoping that I'll respond again, which I will. I'll definitely put in another bid for like $575, $600 until I to be honest, if that's still there by Friday, I'm just gonna buy it. But I'm just gonna keep giving offers until he accepts, or until that day comes, whichever comes first. I had a Dark Porygon 2, First Edition PSA 10. This sold for $525, and again that reaffirms the formula that I came up with the 10 sells for 5 to 8 times what the 9 sold for. Because the Dark Porygon 2, First Edition PSA 9, sold for $91. This fits right in there. This sold for $525. So it's more than 5, less than 6 times, which is good. Meganium First Edition PSA 9, number 11. This one was crazy weird too, because I don't think we've seen this one move past like 150, maybe 180. It certainly never got to 200. Again, number 11 was one that's least common. Or I'm sorry, it's more common, easier to grade, not as good artwork in my opinion. That sold for $335. The number 10, the one that is more uncommon and it's harder to grade, more aesthetically pleasing, that only sold for $305 yesterday, or 2 days ago. But yesterday we see this one sell for $335. I'm like, what the heck is going on here? Because there's 55 PSA 10 copies for the 9. Or I'm sorry, for number 11. And there's 228 PSA 9s for the 11. But number 10, it only has 155 PSA 9 copies and 15 PSA 10. So I don't know what's going on here. I don't know why that one in particular sold for $335, because as soon as that happened, again, a few hours later, or no, I'm sorry, just this morning, like 20 minutes ago, another one, Meganium First Edition PSA 9, number 11, sold for $132. Should it be more than $132? Yeah. But definitely not $335. So it's went from here to here, back to down here. So I think that was just an anomaly. Maybe inexperienced buyer thought that was a different one when it wasn't. But we had a spike, came back down, correction right away, and that one sold for $132. So moving past that, we had a Dark Donphin. Love that artwork also. First Edition PSA 9 sold for $138. I really like ground. I just, if I was a Pokemon trainer, I would be ground, because I love. Hang on, girlie, I'm making a video. I love Dugtrio and Donphin and just Rhyhorn right on. Anyway, President PSA 9 sold for $138. And we had a Shadowless Ninetales base set. PSA 8 sold for $365. Pretty sure that's a record for that one as well. Used to be able to get a First Edition PSA 8 for like $250. Now the Shadowless PSA 8 gets $365. It's insane. Moving into some other ones here, we had a First Edition T17, so Typhlosion, Neo Genesis, raw copy. It looked phenomenal. Like, there was a little red dot on it. Sometimes you get a red dot on those cards. But other than that, the centering looked good. I didn't see any factory lines. Little bit of whitening on it, but I think it should have gotten a 9. It was listed at 1.5K, sold like within 24 hours. It sold probably within 12 hours of it being put up. I remember like, oh, I'm going to watch that, see where it goes, and then as soon as I do this video, oh, all right, shit, it's sold. Electrode first edition PSA 9 sold for $78. That was from the Jungle set. It was a holo. This is interesting as well. With Blaine's Charizard. Normally, when I say if you only show a front pick, it's just like not going to, like, it's not going to sell as easily as if you had two picks. Because if you see a PSA 10 sell for with just one picture on there and it doesn't show the back, you're thinking back's got something fucked up with it. But what we have is called that.pokemart. That is the seller, and I looked at it, and he's got 100% a positive feedback. Been on here for like 8 years on eBay. A whole bunch of feedback, everything good. Got a whole bunch of stuff, and he listed it for $3.5 thousand. And it sold, so we have another new price point for this. It jumped $500 again in within a week again. So this is insane. Now the other reason why I wanted to bring this up is because I think this person's from Australia. They have it listed for like $2,800. First edition PSA 10 Blaine's Charizard. That's what we're talking about. In case I haven't said that yet. First edition PSA 10 Blaine's Charizard has both pictures, front and back. Front looks great. The back on the Australian one, the one that's listed for $2,800, I don't want to say it's like fucked up. Like, it's a soft 10. Like, if that was a 9, I'd be like, okay. Like, I wouldn't question it. I wouldn't be like, that should probably be a 10. Because there's a little bit of edge wear and whitening to the point. And again, I'm usually a pretty hard grader as far as that's concerned. And aside from dents or creases, like creases or dents, like I don't think should destroy a card, but they do according to PSA. But so I'm relatively hard graded. So for me to say that this 10, which okay in the parameters you're allowed a little bit of whitening, a little bit of edge wear, is a soft 10, and a 9 would be. If that was a 9, I wouldn't question it. I wouldn't say that should be a 10. Like, if someone brought it up to me, like, maybe, but it got a 9 for a reason. But this one that got a 10. At this point, you're not paying for the perfectness of the card. You're just paying for the grade. So that's why I think the one that $2.8 thousand has not sold, and the one that $3,500 did, because again, you can't see the back of that card for the one that sold for $3,500, but you know the seller, you know the person, and it even said, like, I've never seen like top rater or top trader, top whatever that eBay gave him because he was that good. Moving on to something I've never covered before because I honestly don't know a lot about them, but I did a little research beforehand. Is Gold Stars. Gold Stars span a couple of different sets. The only ones I looked into was the EX Doxies. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. Go ahead and murder me in the comments. And then the other one was a EX Holo Phantoms. So starting with the Gold Star Pikachu from 2006, EX Holo Phantoms. PSA 10 sold for $1,843. Private listing, so we don't know who, what that was. If they had zero feedback or they had a bunch of positive feedback. There was a lot of things up there, and this little guy only has how many PSA 10? 91 PSA 10 copies. So that makes sense. $1,843. Good for you, Pikachu. Gold Star is something I haven't gotten into yet. Maybe I will in the future. Maybe once my gym challenge set is finally complete, I'll get into that. Maybe I have a little more money, and I'll do what I do. Moving on after that is the most expensive set card outside of first edition PSA 10 Charizard. Base set. That one, obviously, first edition PSA 10 base set. I've seen offers on E4, people offering $41,000 to $43,000. So you know that the $40,000 record price point in the public eye is probably not the actual record price point. Record price point in private, again, this guy has asked $41,000 to $43,000. That's what he's willing to pay. I don't think anyone took him up on it. Obviously, there's a bunch of different disparities between 10s in that because there's 120 PSA 10 copies. But this one, the 2005 Rayquaza Gold Star X Deoxys, again, X Doxies, Dex Deoxys, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Maybe I wrote it down wrong. PSA 10. The fifth highest bid was $18,200. The winning bid was $23,300. All right, outside of WotC, that is the most expensive set card, even in all of Pokemon, as far as a set card goes. When I say set, I mean like non-trophy, whatever. In all of Pokemon set cards, that is the second most expensive card because I don't think any other one has sold for that. Even 6 years ago, Charizard might have sold for that, or no, a few years ago, Charizard might have sold for that, but now, wow, and it has 44 PSA 10 copies. So the reason why I think that this one only got that, I'm saying only, is because it's from 2005, not 1999, 1998. It is not in. It's not in a WotC set. It's after Nintendo took over after Wizards of the Coast. It was they replaced Wizards of the Coast. Is because like Charizard is the rookie card. Deoxys doesn't show up till Gen 3. So in terms of actual, time, Charizard's older. Charizard is the rookie card. Charizard is the one that everyone grew up with. I didn't know of Deoxys until I was older when he finally came out, because again, that was third generation. So even though there's almost, 66, only almost like 60% less PSA 10 Deoxys than there are Charizards, that's why, because Charizard came first. And piggybacking on that 44 PSA 10 copies, there is Shining Gyarados in the, I'm not sure if they're in EX Holo Phantoms or if they're in, I'm not sure what, but it's a Gyarados Gold Star. And I say shiny, it doesn't say shiny on there, but it's because it's a red Gyarados. There's only 30 PSA 10 copies. Next time that goes up, and Gyarados from Gen 1, that is the original shiny Pokemon. If those of you that haven't played the games, in Generation 2, they introduced shiny Pokemon, and the first one that everyone encounters is a red Gyarados at Lake of Rage. And that's the shiny, and that's the one that I think would resonate with most of this. It's a Gen 1 Pokemon. It became shiny in Gen 2 because of that one, that one special Pokemon that everyone can encounter. So it's older. It's got super rarity for PSA 10 copies, and outside of that, going into the later sets, Latias and Latios, those Gold Stars, they're 20 PSA 10 copies and 24 PSA 10 copies respectively. So those, because they're not, old school. I don't know if they're from 3rd or 4th gen. Yeah. Again, I only claim to be master of the first 2 gens, but anyway, that's something that'd be interesting to see as well. I told you we had those Gold Star Charizards from the other day. I think they got like 5,000 and 7,000. To be honest, I'm not 100% sure what they got. I'd have to go back and relook at those. But looking at these, this is one of the most insane, $23,300 for that. So we have Growth at Charizard of the Blaine's Charizard First Edition PSA 10 to 3.5K. Again, from a very reputable seller, but only had one picture on it. I don't know if it was a stock photo or if that's something he had. Maybe he has a bunch of inventory. I don't know. But that is it. It is insane. Bid you all a very fun farewell. I'll talk to you guys later. Okay, goodbye.